Okay. All right. I'm recording, but I'm hearing an echo and I don't know why this keeps doing it. I'm gonna adjust my volume and we're gonna hope for the best. I'm hoping it's not echoing while I'm recording, but I can hear myself. So anyway, I hello, I am Christina Taylor. I am coming to you from North Canton, Ohio with and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I have got with to share with you today some Christmas cards. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right in and get started creating some Christmas crafts. So hang on just a moment while I switch the camera down. Okay, everybody, I've gone ahead and turned the camera down. I am hoping that the video is not echoing as I'm recording. I don't know, I've adjusted the audio and everything like that, but I can still hear a faint echo. So if it is echoing, I'm gonna think like you're probably just gonna have to watch this video with no volume and just watch me go through it. Um, because I've tried everything I can to try and get that echo to go away. So these are the projects that we're making today. I thought I'd give you a quick peek at them. I'm going to go ahead and take them out of the shot here. We're going to do 5 cards today, so we'll be stamping quite a bit. And and these, of course, these are our 2 current catalogs that we have available. This is our holiday catalog and then our annual catalog. Now today, as I'm recording this, there's currently a sale going on with the stamp sets are 15% off in the annual catalog only, but that sale does end on October 9th. So if you have interest in that, you'll want to place your order before October 9th. And my current host code is FEGKV2A3. So you can use that host code in my online store, which is stampingyoucrazy.stampinup.net. And using that host code will tell me that you would like the monthly paper sunshine kits that I give away. And I will send that to you, or if you're local, I always have my little drop-off pickup house that you can swing by there and get it if that's more convenient. Sometimes the mail takes a little bit longer than we'd like. So that might be a good option for you. And if you're watching this video, then you may have found it through my YouTube channel. You can find me on YouTube at Christina Taylor, Stamp Me Crazy. And if you would like the video and subscribe to the page so you get all my new videos every time I upload one. So anyway, I think that's it. We're going to go ahead and get right started with some creations here. So let me get our first project. Okay, here we go with our first project. And let me grab the measurements because I forgot to do that. Okay, so this is the first card that we're going to make. And you'll see there's some shimmer on the cardstock there. I've done that with some shimmer spray, so I'll show you that shortly. And this tree has some dimension to it. It's popped up with some dimensionals. All right, so I am going to just let this sit right here so it's in the screenshot there. And let me share with you the supplies that we're going to be using. We've got our Painted Trees embossing folder. And we're using our 3D specialty plate, which is used with the cut and emboss machine to emboss on a 3D folder. We've got cherry cobbler ink, shaded spruce ink. And then the bundles that we're using are the Peaceful Evergreens. That's a stamp set and a set of dies. And this set of dies is 2 sheets. So you've got quite a few dies in this stamp set, so a lot of creative possibilities. On this project, I just used this tall, slim one and the larger die cuts. So I've already gone ahead and die cut those. And then we've also got the Peaceful Season stamp set. I've used the word Christmas out of here. And then the sentiment is the wishing you all the things that warm your heart and lift your spirits. So this has some great sentiments in it, like a wide variety of different sentiments. And it is nice because it has from our home to yours or from my home to yours. Because not everyone is just a my and you need an our home, and not everyone is an our. And you might just need from my home to yours. So that's nice that they included both sentiments in this stamp set. And then it's bundled together with a set of dies. So you've got these great labels, which we're going to use this one on another project. For this project, I've die cut the word Christmas out, so the Christmas stamp, and we'll be using that as well on this one. Okay. And then the products that I'm using on this particular card, you can see are set up in the suite of the Season of Elegance in the Holiday Catalog, which is on page 24 and 25. So you can see both bundles are available here, as well as the Painted Trees embossing folder. And part of this suite also contains some embellishments and some specialty paper too. Okay. All right, so the first thing I did was, well, let me give you the measurements. I'm sorry, I didn't do the measurements of the cardstock. So we've got our basic white envelope. Then we've got a piece of cherry cobbler that's 5.5 by 8.5. Okay. Got a piece of shaded spruce that's 4 by 5.25. A piece of basic white that's 3.5 by 5. And then I've gone ahead and die cut out the slim tall tree, the larger one, and the Christmas word. And then I have a strip of just a slim white strip of cardstock too that we're going to be using. So the first thing I wanted to do was go ahead and emboss my cardstock with the painted trees. So you would put your cardstock in here in the embossing folder, position it where you might like. And then you'll put this in the embossing machine, and you want to put the seam side first with the open end at the far side, you're not going in first. And then you're going to put your specialty plate over top of that and take that through the cut and emboss machine. And when you do, you're going to end up with this. Okay, so we've got that done. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a little shimmer on it because I do want to create that. So let me grab the shimmer station real quick. So this is just a paper pumpkin box that I've created to make my little shimmer station. And this is just some rubbing alcohol and then some shimmer paint that I've put in there to give it a little shimmer. It's a great thing to add to your Christmas cards especially, but I like a little shimmer on my cards in general. So this just has rubbing alcohol in it. You can see that it's got spots all over right now. It's going to dry very quickly, so I'm just going to set this aside, and we'll come back to that when we're ready to assemble our card. Okay, so I'm going to use this just like I used it in the class for the ladies. I've got it set up on my Stamparatus. When I'm making a bunch of cards, I find that this is the best way to do it, to just die cut a bunch of the same thing, make myself a template, and then I can just insert it like a puzzle and stamp much quicker. And then instead of stamping each one individually and die cutting it out individually, I can die cut a couple of these at the same time. So I'm just going to fit these in. Okay, and then let me get shaded spruce ink. And I'm going to go ahead and just ink those trees. Tap that down. So I'm just going to use my little slider tool. And someone was asking me about this. This was just from one of a Stampin' Up! Used to have a cookie press stamps. And this was just the handle that we had there, and the silicone cookie presses would slip on the end of this. And we don't have those anymore, so I just used that and kind of repurposed it. So I've got my trees. And then next I want to do the Christmas word. Yeah, that moved. So let me get that back in there. And just go ahead and press that down. And there we go. We set this aside. Okay. So we've got our trees ready to go. I want to do a little stamping on this one. And is my other little tree? I'm just going to grab one off here and put it on the block so I can do some stamping on the inside. And I'm going to in the corner clean that off with my chamois. And then I want to do our sentiment. I'm going to do that in a little bit of the cherry cobbler. I'm just going to put this right down next to the tree instead of in the center. It gives you a little space for writing. Some of the ladies at class were asking me about the sizes. Instead of doing like 4 by 5 1/4, I did 3 1/2 by 5 because a lot of times I hear back from feedback from people saying that they don't want a big space to have to write in the Christmas card. They like to put a sentiment. They like to sign a brief little thoughts in here and sign their name. So that's why I adjusted the size to give you kind of like a stronger frame around the inside of your card. And then I've got my little strip here. I want to stamp the word Merry. Okay. I can hear the what I want to say, the construction workers outside. They're paving our street. They've been doing it, I don't know, for the past several days, but it's quite the ordeal. Anyway, I can hear them outside, and I'm in my stamp studio, so they must be like quite robust out there with their activity. I can hear them down here. So I'm just going to take my scissors and just kind of trim this. Real simple. We're not going to die cut that. It's just a little block saying Merry on it. Okay. So I want to do a tree on the envelope here. So let me open that back up. Grab that. Yeah, gosh, I'm really hoping that the echoing in the back talking is not being heard on your end of the video, and it's just something I'm hearing. I really have to work that out because I've had it happen on the last several videos that I've been doing, and I don't understand what's causing it. I'm not the most tech savvy person. I mean, I will admit that for sure. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and assemble this card. So we're going to take and fold our card base in half and flatten that with the bone folder. And grab my adhesive. Let's see. I was like, where is my embossed cardstock? So there we've got that embossed piece, the sparkles on it. It's dry. And we're just going to put some adhesive on there and start to build our card. Okay. And then we put our tree on. Place that where you might like. We're going to put this one on with some dimensionals. Okay. Place that down. And then we're going to put our Christmas on. I love the cherry cobbler against this shaded spruce. Really pretty contrast. Okay. And then I'm just going to set that right above the Christmas. Go. And then do our inside layer. Okay. All right, and there is our first card. So at this card class, everybody made 20 cards. So you made 4 of each design. We're doing a total of 5 designs. The class was, again, 20 cards, and it was a $40 class fee. You could also do kits to go if you chose that option as well, which I did have several ladies choose that too. So, okay, I'm going to clean up this mess and we will come back with another project here. Okay, I'm back with our next project. So this project, we're going to do this beauty. It's a really popular one at class with the metallic shimmeriness. And this does feature some retired product. And I tell the ladies to always check the clearance rack because a lot of this came off the clearance rack and you can find some great buys there. So our products are economically priced anyway, but on the clearance rack, you can get that same quality that you've grown to love at like 50, 60% off. So I did this example in the Night of Navy, but there was another option of pool party at the class. So I thought I would demonstrate that and show you that one, but the layout will be exactly the same. And then the label is put on with some Stampin' Dimensionals. Other than that, everything is just flushed to the card. So on this project, we're using the metallic mesh ribbon, which again, clearance rack item. We're using Pool Party ink, Night of Navy. That's what I used on the example that I just showed you. I'm going to use the Pool Party on what we're doing here. And then I've got the Greetings of the Season stamp set and dies. So this is an online exclusive with this stamp set and then the set of dies. There's also another option of everyday greetings, and they coordinate both with both the stamp set and these dies too. So you can just search online or just search on the website Greetings of the Season and the bundle will come up and that will give you the ordering information there. We also are using the Frozen Edges stamp set. And I didn't use the dies on this one, but they are bundled together in the holiday catalog. What I selected out of this stamp set was this cluster of snowflakes. I thought it complemented this card really well. This is one of my favorite bundles in the holiday catalog. So I'm thinking you can get a lot of use out of this. So you can use it all winter long. On this stamp set here, I used the Merry and Christmas out of here. What's great about it is you have the like block font, but then you also have the cursive. So you can mix and match if you choose to. But I used the Merry Christmas out of here, and then I die cut this oval tag with the stitching around it. No, I take that back. I didn't use that one. I did that on another card. We used this one on this card right here. Oh, goodness. Okay, I'm going to get that Night of Navy ink out since we're just using the Pool Party. Also on this one, which I've gone ahead and done for us, I used the Snowflake Sky embossing folder. It's in the big idea book and catalog. So that's a great folder too. And we will emboss that just the way we did the other one with using the specialty plate. Okay, so let me tell you what we've got as far as our supplies. You've got your basic white envelope. You've got a piece of basic white that's 5.5 by 8.5. a piece of Pool Party that is 4 by 5 1/4. You've got a piece of metallic blue specialty paper, which is 3 by 3. You've got a piece of metallic snowflake specialty paper, which is 2 by 4. You've got your die cut tag out of basic white. And then you have a metallic mesh piece of ribbon, which is 3 inches long approximately. So we're going to start by folding our white cardstock base in half. Flatten that fold with the bone folder, flatten that creates its bone folder. And I have gone ahead and already die cut or embossed those little snowflakes on there. So we're going to give this some shimmer just like we did the other. Because hey, why not? So I'm just going to shake up my shimmer spray again. Spray that just like I did the spruce trees. Set that aside. And that will dry. Okay, so I need to stamp my card and my tag. I have to grab a mat here. I've got my paper piercing mat just to stamp our greeting on since these are photopolymer. Stamp that down. So we've got our Merry Christmas there. Clean that off. And then we've got our inside sentiment. Stamp that down. And that says, may your holiday season be filled with the warmth and a cheerful celebration. I like, again, the use of both the different fonts there. And then we're going to do some snowflakes just in the bottom corner here. And go ahead and grab our envelope. Put a few snowflakes on that. Okay. All right, and we are ready to assemble. This is a quick card. This is, like I said, one of the favorites, just having just the snowflakes on it. So for the ribbon, you're just going to take it in your hands and kind of bring it together, then tighten it up so it's not like wide, and then just twist it around your finger to create a knot. Some of the ladies put it through the hole in the tag, which you could absolutely do. For myself, I just tied it in a knot like this and used a glue dot. So that's the direction I'm going with it. I think I'm going to trim off the ends just a little bit, which you can do as well. All right, so we are ready to assemble this card. So I'm going to place it on here. I need to flip this around. I wanted the more concentrated dots and snowflakes at the top and then it to lessen to the bottom. You can put it however you might like on yours. Put some metallic specialty paper on here. Now the ladies were asking about, oh, you know what? I forgot to grab a snowflake. I gotta go do that. The ladies were asking about how do you adhere this vellum on my card front because it's of course see-through and transparent. So what I did was I just turned it over and I put adhesive, like, see where you can see the snowflakes. I'm just putting adhesive in those areas. So that'll kind of help camouflage the adhesive. It's vellum and you don't need like a ton of it. And let's just set this down right on my metallic cardstock. And let me grab a snowflake. I forgot to get one of those little guys to put on the card. And for this, you've got like a shimmery side to it and then a basic white side. And I'm going to use, of course, the shimmery side up. So I want to put some adhesive and blue dots are kind of tiny. They were from Paper Pumpkin kits. So I'm going to use several of those. Let me get the little tabs off here. Okay. And then I'm just going to place that on my card. Send that down. And I want to put this tag on with some dimensionals. Do a couple of those. Place that right there. And then I want to blue dots. These little guys. I might need to get my, oh, for heaven's sakes. Oh, it was stuck to my finger. I was like, why is the card coming with me? It was because that glue dot was stuck to with my finger. All right, let me find my tape runner adhesive because these little guys, I needed to get my roll of blue dots and I did not have that. So I'm just going to put a little my adhesive there and tuck that bow right on there. Okay. All right, so there is our card in the pool party, and there's a glue dot stuck to that because it was stuck on my finger. And then we've got our Night of Navy one as well. So same layout, just different cards, different color. And they both, I think, are equally beautiful. All right, let me clean this project space up and I'll be back with another one. Okay, this is our next project with some fun little reindeer with a little gingham black and red plaid and some snowflakes. So just kind of like that black and white template with a pop of color, which is our red. So on this project, we are using the Christmas Labels stamp set and then the Christmas Labels dies, which these are a lot of fun. I think this is a great bundle to have too. These um, die cuts just, oh my goodness, they're so beautiful that you've got the not only the shapes of them but the intricate lines that it cuts out around to kind of give you that accent, that extra accent and element on your cards. And the different sentiments are designed to go in the various different labels on here. So like these three here are meant to go in this one. They're kind of at a slant. These three here are meant to go in this one. But I think they would actually also fit in this label as well. And then of course you have these other ones here that will go in these two. So I think this one's going to be a lot of fun to work with for the holiday season and actually wintertime too. So I've chosen the Merry Christmas to You out of here, and I've used this die cut in the stamp set or in that die set. And then on the one of a kind stamp set, which does have a two die set of dies to go along with it, I've just taken out a couple of the snowflakes that we're going to use to stamp on the inside of our card. This is a fun new stamp set. And again, like I said, the two little dies that come along with it are in the holiday catalog. And I think it's like 20 some dollars. It's no more than 30, but I think I want to say like $27 for the bundle. So it's a great price. I could be wrong on that. So, and then we've got some Real Red ribbon. We're using Real Red ink. And we've got some designer series paper. And we're just going to go ahead and jump on in here. So we've got our basic white envelope. We've got a piece of basic black cardstock that's 5.5 by 8.5. We've got a piece of basic white that's 4 by 5 1/4. A piece of designer series paper. So this is our larger piece. It's going to be 3 by 5 1/4. And then we've got a 1-inch strip that's 1 inch by 5 1/4. And of course, you're going to have 2 different sides to this, so you can choose which one you would like to go with, or you might have the plaid in your kit too. We've got our die cut label. And then you've got a piece of basic white that's 3 1/2 by 5, and a piece of ribbon that is, I think, about 6 inches, I would say, in length. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started just by folding our card base in half at that score line. Okay. And we're going to build our layer here. So I put this white layer in here so you could build the designer series paper on it, because we're going to wrap our ribbon around there. So how I'm going to choose to do this is simply just put adhesive on my white piece of cardstock. I'm going to use the snowflake side with a little plaid, lining that up there. We'll go over in the back side. So I'll line that up with the edge of my cardstock, push that up. I like using the liquid glue because it gives me a little time to work with it. Go. And then I'm just going to take my reindeer piece and one on. And you see I've just got a little bit of a gap, just a tiny bit. Well, that's why we're going to put this magic ribbon in there, and it's going to solve all our problems. At least when it's related to this card. So I'm going to put the ribbon down and this over. So I'm just going to use some Scotch tape, put that in place, hold that, and then come back around. Do it again on the other side. There we go. So we've got our front layer. We're going to do our stamping. So I've got my Merry Christmas to you, and because it's photopolymer, I can just kind of hover it over the stamp, lining up, and then stamp that right down. So pretty. And let me grab my Stampin' Mat. We're going to do some snowflakes. And I'm going to do one full strength, one off, and one again. And then we'll do the small one the same way. So one full strength, one off, and one again to get a little bit of cluster of snowflakes. And I'm going to do that same thing with the little one on the inside, just to give a few little snowflakes there. I'm going to keep it pretty simple. And this card, we're ready to go. We're ready to put this baby together. Okay. So there we go. I'm gonna use my tape runner. One, did not out very well when I went over that tape. Okay. Just put our inside layer in there. Might be coming to the end of that roll, which is why it's hesitating a little bit. All right, and then we need some dimensionals. Pop up our label here. We're going to put our, yikes, put our, this label just right there. And there we go. We are done. Easy as that. So cute, simple card. Love the reindeer and the black and white with a pop of color. All right, I'm going to clean up these supplies and bring you back with another project. Okay, how you doing? We are on card number 4. Okay, this is the 4th one. And oh yeah, did you see I picked up my nail polish here? I was doing some gardening and then I could see the gel polish kind of like coming up, so I just pulled it right off. I know you're not supposed to do that, but I did. So yeah, I'm missing a color on one of my nails here. Okay, this is the next card we're going to do. And this, I love the simplicity of this. This was done, a demonstrator did this for some training, so I cannot take credit for the layout. I did tweak it and make it my own by using a different paper behind it, some different embellishments, and changing the where stamping colors and things like that a bit. But cannot take credit for the layout, but I love it. It's so simple. And this stamp set, the Shepherd's Care stamp set, is just beautiful. It's done with the shading and the shadowing in the on the images. It's so pretty. So I highly recommend it. This is in our holiday catalog, and I think it's like $26 maybe. Okay, so we're using the Shepherd's Care stamp set. We're going to use crushed curry, mossy meadow. I've got some metallic pearls. And we're also using some of the gold specialty paper, which is you can get that in the catalog, and it comes with gold, silver, and copper, I believe. The pack of just silver is not available right now, but the triple pack is. Okay, so let's go over the supply. So we've got our envelope. And then speaking of envelopes, if you saw the clearance rack the last time it was refreshed, which was like a couple weeks ago, there was basic vanilla envelopes on there for like $5 and something, thick vanilla cardstock, and vanilla note cards and envelopes for like $5 too. It was super cheap. I snagged up a bunch of that because I love the vanilla. I'm kind of sad that, we don't have that in our envelopes anymore, but I don't make those decisions. So we've got our envelope. We have a piece of cardstock that, let me like kind of divert a little bit on this one. So the cardstock was initially, I'm going to put this piece here. It's initially cut at 4¼ by 11. So that's a full size sheet of cardstock just cut in half at 4¼ So I did that, cut it in half at 4¼ by 11. Then I turned my cardstock and cut off a 3-inch piece. So you've got a 3-inch by 4¼ piece that you cut off of this card, right? So that's going to give us our piece for our layer. And then the card is scored at 5½. So that'll give your midway point for our basic traditional card size. Then we've got a piece of basic vanilla, very vanilla, 4 by 5¼ And then we've got another piece of vanilla that is 2¾ by 4. And we've got a piece of our gold specialty paper that's 2¼ by 4. And I have already gone and embossed this with the Snowflake Sky Fall embossing folder that we used on the last project. And this is the card we're going to make. So we're just going to get creating. So we're going to take and fold our cardstock at that score line. And so we've got these pieces are all done. So we do not need to do anything with those. We're going to do some stamping on these. And on my example, I just used the Mossy Meadow, but I did put the crushed curry out for class and several of the ladies used it. So I'm going to kind of do that example tonight to kind of show you with the stars instead of making a Mossy Meadow. So I'm going to ink this stamp up and give that a good press on my cardstock. Beautiful image there. And I'm going to go ahead and put that on my envelope too. So I'm going to ink that again. And put that on my envelope. Clean that off. Okay. Then I'm going to take this little tiny stamp with the like stars in the sky and put that down there. And like I told the ladies at class, because it's such a tiny stamp, you've just got to gently ink it or you're going to get line marks on your image. We're going to set that one aside. This is done. We want to do our sentiments. So I'm going to use the Peace on Earth, stamp that in the lower part of the card and the center. And then the sentiment is praying that you feel the Good Shepherd's care in this season and throughout the coming year. I think this stamp set is a beautiful stamp set to use for Christmas card in general, but also somebody that maybe has lost someone this year, because it also has that he heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Like it's just a very like it's kind of a stamp set that gives you a warm hug, I think. So I do highly recommend it. I think it's beautiful. We're gonna stamp this or ink that up so I can stamp it on my card. And then I'm gonna try something that some of the ladies were doing at class. I loved it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a go. So they inked up the larger star. Stamp that. Yeah, right under, right over their sentiment like that. Isn't it beautiful? Like that. Very, very cool. All right, so we've got all of our stamping done. So we're gonna go ahead and shut the ink so I don't end up putting my card in them. And we're working on assembling. I'm guessing like nobody is watching this that is down in maybe Florida at the current time, or even the Carolinas. For those the people that in Asheville and the surrounding area in North Carolina, just like your heart goes out to them for all that they're dealing with um, Hurricane Helene. That was terrible for the North Carolina, like Georgia, and even the people in Florida too. Like that was a terrible storm. But this one coming, Milton, is a doozy, and we have some dear friends that are down in Punta Gorda, and they are hunkering down because it was too late for them to leave with that storm. It's turned a little bit. It's kind of coming their way. They're going to be a little bit more in the line of it. I'm hoping they're going to be okay. It's scary. So prayers to everybody out there that might be dealing with that or have loved ones in that area. And yeah. Okay, so I went ahead and layered those pieces. I might put my gold piece on the flap there, my vanilla on the inside, and then I'm just figuring out where I want to place this, my front, trying to get an idea of point so that I just put adhesive on the top half. So I'm just going to mark with my finger and run my adhesive just on the top half so that my card will still open. And press that down. There we go. And then I'm going to come in with a few pearls. Pick tool. Okay. I'm going to put a little, eh, a little one right in the center of that star. And then I'll put one right there. And I think I put a third one on. Yes, I did. I'm going to grab another one there. And let me put these back in because there's a pretty good chance I'm going to lose those. Right. And there is our fourth card. What do you think of that? Let me know in the comments in this video, like which one that you like. If you have a favorite, I would love to hear your feedback. Okay, let me clean this one up and I'll be right back with our last project. Here we go with our last project. Look at this beauty. This beautiful, like snow-covered, excuse me, forest with just the pine trees, and it just has a feel of solitude. Okay, so I'm gonna set the card aside a little bit. I'm gonna kind of take you through on how to put this one together. So I'm just gonna set that aside. We're using Misty Moonlight as for our ink. I've got some Misty Moonlight thin ribbon that's about, I think, 1/8 of an inch ribbon. We're using our deckled rectangle dies. So on this one, I have used, let me grab them here and see the sizes. Quite a few in there. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8. So I have gone ahead and die cut the large deckled piece, which I don't think I grabbed one of those. Let me grab them. Okay, forgot that one. So I've gone ahead and die cut the large deckled rectangle piece. So we use this one. Then I use this size, which I die cut out of the Misty Moonlight, a piece of that. So we've got that size and a deckled rectangle. And then we're going to use the smaller one after we have stamped. So these two are already done. And the stamp is called Fragrant Forest. It is in the annual catalog, so it is 15% off right now, at least today anyway, through the sale today. And then I've used the Peaceful Season stamp set, and I've gone ahead and taken the Friends and Family are the True Gift of Christmas out of there, and the Peace and Joy stamp. So those are the two that we're using. And I used the dies. Remember, we used those earlier on our spruce cardstock with the trees. I went ahead and die cut this die out of this set, and we're using that for our label. And I've also grabbed a little set of 5 pine trees in a row from the Peaceful Evergreen stamp set that we used earlier. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. I've got my basic white envelope. As I said, I already die cut those 2 pieces. So if you're doing a kit, you're going to have those in the kit or with your cards. And then I've got a piece of Misty Moonlight that's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and a piece of basic white that's 3.5 by 5, and our die cut white label. You'll have a piece of the Misty Moonlight ribbon in there, and that's, I would say, about a 3-inch piece of ribbon. So the first thing we want to do is stamp our trees. So we are going to use this large background stamp. And we're just going to take our Misty Moonlight ink pad and ink that up. Okay. And I'm going to set this on the section of the card that I'm thinking, like, you know what? That's where I want to focus. And I'm going to come in with my piece of just cardboard. And I'm going to press this down. For me, I need to use something that I can like kind of feel the cardstock below and press down, because using the stamp in the reverse way, it hurts my hands to like kind of press that way. So I kind of do it in the reverse. And then I just hope for the best when I flip it over. Not too bad. Yeah, I'll take it. So let me just put this aside. So we've got our stamp, our forest scene created. And then what we're going to do is take this die cut and we're going to put it right in the center of our stamped piece and run that through the cut and emboss machine to get 2 pieces. So through the magic of TV, I already have that done. So what I did was create, this was a full stamp. I die cut it out. So now I've got a frame and a piece that I can focus on. We'll set this one aside. And we'll go ahead and do the rest of our stamping here. So my envelope, I want to do some little trees. And on the inside, I'm not going to do the trees on the inside because I am going to stamp this greeting kind of in the center. And I feel like stamping the trees is really going to take up a lot of extra space. So I'm just going to have the sentiment as our focus there. And then we need to stamp the peace and joy. Now, when I'm stamping this, I want to make sure I'm going to take my label like this way on my card because I want my two ends of my ribbon to come out the sides. So I'm going to make sure to position it that way and stamp that down. Okay, we've got all of our pieces, so we're done stamping with that ink. So we're ready to assemble. So I'm going to take my ribbon and just feed it down through the one end. So starting on the left, coming around the back, and then up through the other side on the right, bringing that ribbon up and through. Okay. Take and fold our card base in half. Flatten that fold with our bone folder. And we're ready to start assembling. I'm going to put my deckled die cut frame piece on first. My white inside layer. Okay. And then I want to layer this piece on my deckled rectangle. So I'm going to put some adhesive on that. Coming back in with some Scotch tape. So when I always have ribbons to fasten around something, I like to just put it on with Scotch tape. You can do whatever works best for you. Put that around the back side and then get this one in place. So you don't really, I didn't use any adhesive on the label. I just allowed the ribbon to really hold it in place. And then we're going to pop this up with some dimensionals. So I'm going to put 5 of those on. Those little tabs off. So the beauty of this card, by making that misty moonlight blue layer there and die cutting it out, it creates a frame. So it gives me like a little room for error when I'm putting it down there. So it doesn't have to be like super precise. I can just kind of put it, where I'm wanting to showcase it on the card. There's a little room for error there, like I said. And then it's ready to go. It's all done. So we've got our finished project. Simple as that. Well, let me bring in the other projects so you can get a look at all of them together that we created. Got that one, this one. Got our trees here. And then we've got our double like snowflake in the different colors. So here, maybe we kind of put them over this way, spread them out a little bit there. So that's everything that we created today. Let me turn the camera back down so we can have a little bit of a chat, and then we'll say goodbye then. Okay, I'm back. I again am really hoping that the echoing is not happening, that I'm just hearing that on my end, and it's just like I've had a visitor in here talking with me the entire time. I'm really hoping that you're not hearing that when you watch this video. I am so grateful for your company today as we created some Christmas cards. I know it's only October, but the ladies really enjoyed that I did the class sooner rather than I normally don't do it till the first weekend in November, I think. So it's like a month sooner. And we enjoyed some Christmas cookies and had listened to Christmas music. It was a lot of fun, and the ladies were just great to work with that day. So I hope that you have enjoyed the 5 cards that I've shared. If you're making a kit to go, I hope that you have just stamping, and you've got your 20 cards done, and you are like set. You are on your way to getting your Christmas cards done for the year. So I appreciate your sharing your time with me today and allowing me to share creativity with you. And I hope that these card designs inspired you and encourage you to get your stamps out and create your own paper sunshine. So until next time, I think that's it for today. I've got another class coming up next week. We've got our greetings of gratitude. So that'll be in person here at my Paper Sunshine barn. We will be stamping away on the 6th, is it the 16th? I think it's the 16th, yes. And I also have kits to go for that option as well. And then coming up November 1st, we've got our Let's Kit Together, where you can purchase the kits and come on and we'll just stamp together and have a nice afternoon of just creativity, and everybody will kind of be working on their own thing. So, yeah. All right. Thank you so much for letting me share with you today. Until next time, happy stamping. Bye bye.